Alien Earth has been throwing curveballs at us since day one, but now things are about to get even crazier. As the show heads into its season finale, all eyes, literally, are on Ocellus, the giant floating eyeball creature that has been lurking in the background like Chekhov's gun. From the moment it appeared, you just knew it was going to infect somebody, and after episode 7, it feels like the moment of truth is finally here. But the question is, who's going to become its next host? Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. We've got 4 major candidates on the board right now: Joe Hermit, Morrow, Dame Sylvia, and Boy Kavalier himself. Each one would completely change the story in different ways, and the theories around them are wild. So let's dive into all 4 possibilities and figure out what shocking host twist could change everything in Alien Earth's finale. Why Ocellus matters so much. Before we jump into the candidates, let's just acknowledge how insane this creature is. Ocellus isn't just some random alien critter. It's intelligent, it's calculating, and it has its own agenda. The fact that it managed to use a sheep's body to literally stomp out the next 2 digits of pi before mocking Boy through the glass tells us everything we need to know. This thing is smart, it's petty, and it's way too dangerous to just sit in a tank. Boy Kavalier, of course, sees Ocellus as his golden ticket. To him, it's the perfect experiment. Give the creature a human host and see how it evolves. But here's the kicker. Boy's ego makes him believe he can control the outcome. If there's anything Alien Earth has taught us, it's that no one controls these creatures for long. And that's why choosing the right host is so terrifying, because whoever it takes over could become unstoppable. Joe Hermit becomes the host. Let's start with the most obvious candidate, Joe Hermit. Boy has already called him stupid, which in his twisted logic makes him the perfect test subject. Boy doesn't just want to see Ocellus infect anyone. He wants to see if the creature can improve a human by making a dumb one smart. And we already know Hermit is at the top of his list. It makes even more sense after episode 7. Hermit's failed escape plan not only humiliated Boy, but also destroyed Nibs, one of his most valuable hybrids. That's a huge strike against him. Plus, Hermit has become a thorn in Boy's side by influencing Wendy, pulling her away from Prodigy's control. Boy knows that as long as Hermit is around, Wendy has a tether to her humanity. So what better way to get rid of Hermit than by feeding him to Ocellus? Boy could spin it as an accident, or even claim that Hermit volunteered. It's manipulative, cruel, and perfectly in line with Boy's brand of genius-level villainy. But here's the heartbreaking part. If Hermit gets infected, it completely shifts Wendy's arc. Hermit is her reminder of humanity's good side. If she loses him in such a twisted, brutal way, she won't have anything anchoring her anymore. It could be the final push that sends Wendy over the edge and deeper into her connection with the Xenomorphs. Some theories even say she might evolve into a queen figure herself. And with the finale titled The Real Monsters, Hermit's death by Ocellus could be the exact trigger for that transformation. So yeah, Hermit as the host isn't just likely, it would be devastating.
Lock him up.
Morrow becomes the host. Now let's get into the left field option, Morrow. He's already captured by Prodigy. He's half human, half machine, and he's a perfect guinea pig for a reckless experiment. Plus, Boy hates Weyland-Yutani, and what better way to stick it to them than by turning one of their prized assets into a host for a rogue alien entity? Here's where it gets interesting. Morrow is half cyborg. Would Ocellus even be able to control someone with so much artificial machinery? That's the big question. If it worked, the result would be terrifying. Imagine a hybrid of human intelligence, alien cunning, and cybernetic enhancements. That's not just a new villain, it's a nightmare scenario for everyone, including Boy himself. Thematically, this would be huge too. Morrow is loyal to Weyland-Yutani, and if Prodigy steals him and fuses him with Ocellus, it could spark a bigger corporate war in the future. Weyland-Yutani wouldn't just want revenge, they'd want their technology back, their property reclaimed, and the dangerous new host eliminated. It would also create this fascinating question. How much of Morrow's human mind survives inside that host body? Would he still be scheming, or would Ocellus completely overwrite him? Either way, this theory opens the door for a much larger conflict beyond just the island.
He's on a transport.
No, he isn't. He didn't get on the plane.
Dame Sylvia becomes the host? Okay, now here's a theory that's both chilling and poetic. Dame Sylvia. She's one of the smartest people in the series. And pairing her intellect with Ocellus would create something truly horrifying, a superorganism capable of outsmarting even Boy. There's foreshadowing here too. Boy once insulted Sylvia by saying she wasn't smart enough to be a worthy conversational partner. But with Ocellus inside her, suddenly, she's more than smart enough. She might become the one being capable of genuinely challenging him on every level. And let's not forget Boy's grudge-holding tendencies. He's the kind of person who will never let go of a perceived slight. Even though Sylvia wasn't directly involved in the escape attempts, Boy doesn't trust her. If he decides she's outlived her usefulness, what better way to dispose of her than by feeding her to the Eye? This option is particularly interesting because it would completely upend the power dynamics within Prodigy. Imagine Boy thinking he's in control, only for Ocellus Sylvia to immediately surpass him. It would be the ultimate twist, his arrogance creating the very opponent he's always dreamed of, but one that despises him.
And embed itself in the human population.
Or just one person.
Boy Kavalier becomes the host. And finally, the wildest theory of them all, Boy Kavalier himself. Now this one's risky, but it makes a lot of sense. Boy has been playing God since the beginning, treating everything and everyone as his personal experiment. But the Eye might decide it's done playing along. We already know it's smart enough to recognize who's running the show. And if it decides to infect Boy instead of some disposable test subject, it could completely flip the script. Think about what happened when Ocellus first infected a human host. It immediately called out to the Xenomorph, like there's some kind of ancient rivalry between them. Now imagine that happening inside Boy. Suddenly, he's not the mastermind anymore. He's just a vessel caught in a war between alien species that don't care about his ego. This would also be the most ironic outcome. Boy has been searching for his intellectual equal all season, but instead of finding it, he becomes it. Or worse, he becomes the puppet of something smarter, pettier, and more powerful than he ever imagined. Honestly, it's poetic justice. And if Alien Earth really wants to shock us in the finale, Boy getting infected might be the boldest way to do it.
What did you do?
Which theory makes the most sense? So, with all four theories on the table, which one actually feels the most likely? Joe Hermit is the emotional gut punch. His infection would devastate Wendy, set her on a darker path, and give Boy a twisted sense of victory. It ties directly into the show's biggest themes of humanity versus monstrosity. Morrow is the wild card. If the show wants to expand the corporate war and create a new hybrid villain, this is the way to go. It's less personal, but it has massive implications for the wider Alien universe. Dame Sylvia is the poetic irony. She's the one who could truly rival Boy's mind if fused with Ocellus. It would flip their relationship on its head and give us a terrifying new antagonist. And Boy himself, that's the chaos option. It's the most shocking and the most satisfying in terms of poetic justice. If Alien Earth really wants to go out with a bang, this is how they do it.
Scrubber, someone with a low IQ so that we can see the difference.
Our nerdy thoughts. No matter who T. Ocellus infects, one thing is clear. The finale of Alien Earth is going to be insane. This isn't just about creating a new monster. It's about deciding the future of the story. Whoever becomes the host will shape the next chapter. Whether it's Wendy's descent into Xenomorph royalty, a corporate war with Weyland-Yutani, or Boy finally getting taken down by his own arrogance. The Eye has been sitting in its tank all season, biding its time. Now, as the finale approaches, it's ready to make its move. And when it does, the fallout is going to change everything. So, who do you think it's going to be? Will Hermit's death push Wendy past the point of no return? Will Morrow become the terrifying fusion of alien and machine? Could Sylvia's mind be the ultimate weapon? Or will Boy finally get a taste of his own medicine? One thing is for sure. When T. Ocellus chooses its host, nothing in Alien Earth will ever be the same again.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.